Get Fit with Fox is sponsored by Gold's Gym.
Maintaining muscle flexibility is important as you age. It's important to preserve your muscles' elasticity to avoid mobility issues. Fitness expert Tom Daubert from Gold's Gym is with us to show us some upper body stretches to keep your body moving. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so when I think about flexibility, I think yoga, but there are a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I talk to so many people in the gym and they have some sort of joint pain, knee pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain. And they don't realize is if muscles surrounding our joints are tight, it could be causing some of that pain. So what I wanted to do today is show you some stretches that can help loosen those muscles, hopefully alleviate some of that pain for you. And
if other people are like me, stretching is the thing I do the least of when I know we're supposed to do the most of that to preserve our muscles. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we're only doing a few today.
Okay.
And start with those. I think you'll notice people have noticed change and improvement in pain immediately after doing them.
All right. I feel like I want to stretch now. All right. So show me. What do we have for the upper body?
Think about working on a desk all day. A lot of times our shoulders are hunched forward, right? So we get this upper back tightness. So a good way to stretch this out, it's just called a scapular stretch. So we're going to get on the ground here. You're on all fours. You want your hands right underneath your shoulder, knees kind of right underneath your hips. Now, some people have seen that kind of cat-cow stretch. Instead of that, what we want to do is keep our low back nice and straight. We don't want to move that. What we're doing here is I'm pushing away from the ground, raising my back up as high as I can, stretching out those muscles. And then what I do is actually push my chest down towards the ground and squeeze those upper back muscles together.
Okay.
So what you're doing here is at the beginning, I really struggled with getting a lot of range of motion because my upper back was so tight, maybe bad posture over the years. So what we want to do is, again, drop that chest towards the ground and then come all the way back up.
That probably feels really good too.
Very, very good. So that's a good one to help, you know, kind of undo that bad posture throughout the day.
I'm going to do that because we're always typing and over. Okay.
Another one, if you think about our daily life, you know, a lot of times our wrists are flexed backwards.
Yes.
So these muscles end up getting taxed up here and pretty tight. So a good way to stretch is you want to take your hands out in front of you, kind of reverse your grip and interlock your hands. Whichever one is on top, that's the one that we're going to stretch. Okay. So you got your arms nice and straight. You got to keep them straight the whole time. Okay. What I want you to do is take this bottom hand and pull this hand down. Okay. And you're going to feel those muscles, especially if you kind of twist your arm a little bit. You'll feel these muscles on top of this forearm start to stretch out. What do you think?
I think that feels very comfortable. It feels good.
If you bend your elbows, yeah, you don't feel anything. You got to keep those arms nice and straight. Obviously, we'd hold for about 20, 30 seconds on each side. Okay. And then switch. All
right, well, they're telling me I have to go now, but I want to keep doing this. Tom's going to be back with us, though, in the next hour. He's going to show us some lower body stretches, so we'll get back to it.
With Fox is sponsored by Gold's Gym.
We are back with fitness expert Tom Daubert from Gold's Gym. Now, earlier this morning, he was demonstrating some upper body stretches so we can keep our muscles flexible, avoid injury. Now he's back to show us how we loosen the muscles in our lower body.
Right, so again, a lot of people have pain in their different joints, knee pain, hip pain, so we're gonna go over a couple stretches. Help loosen up those tight muscles surrounding those joints should help you, get rid of some of that pain you're having.
Okay, so what do we do?
Pigeon pose, it's from yoga. So we're gonna use a yoga mat here. What we wanna do is take a leg out in front of you like this.
I like the Think Pink breast cancer yoga mat you got there.
That's what it is, that's what it is. So the rest of your body, their leg is going straight behind you. The goal here is to bring yourself down, really dropping this hip towards the ground. As you can see, I'm still working on this one. My hips tend to be pretty tight. Right. So again, drop your hips down towards the ground and you're really gonna feel this open up this hip muscle. You're gonna feel your glute muscle as well. Those who are really flexible eventually can really bring it down to the ground, almost lay their chest flat. Yep. So I'm working on it. Again, 20 to 30 seconds on each side, and eventually, just switching back and forth. You'd have the opposite leg in front too.
Are men generally tighter than women, or does it just matter how much you stretch?
Right, it really just depends. I would say, guys are generally tight, hips, that kind of area. But a lot of us sit a lot throughout the day, and that's kind of an unnatural movement. It has your hips and your knees flex so much throughout the day, so we want to try to undo some of that flexion by stretching those different muscles.
Okay, what else?
Next one's called the super couch stretch. It really works well if you have either a couch that you can kind of put your leg up against or even a wall. Okay. Since we don't have a wall in this case, it can still be done. What we're going to do is you want to bring yourself up like this, grab your back leg, almost like that old quad stretch. What I'm doing here is not only just pulling this leg up, but pushing this hip forward. Okay. Really great for opening up those hip flexor muscles. Those are the ones that are right on top of your quad, kind of up near the hip. So again, you want to hold this, a couple deep breaths. Like I said, if you have a wall, You can have this leg going straight up the wall behind you, and then work on pressing yourself up. This is such a good one to kind of, stretch out those muscles after you've been sitting in a car for a long time.
Are there things that we do wrong when we go to stretch? What are some of the biggest mistakes you see?
I'd say some of the biggest mistakes are going too fast, too quickly.
Okay.
And kind of holding your breath and tensing up.
Okay.
If you're holding your breath, if you're tensing up, your muscles are not going to relax. So the goal is to really focus on deep breathing, and you got to hold the stretch long enough to make it work too, as well. I think too many people hold it for a few seconds, and then the other big mistake I think too is stretching before a workout. It's like stretching a cold rubber band, right? It doesn't get any benefit. So you wait till after your workout, your muscles are nice and warmed up at that point, and they actually stretch better, and they retain those stretching properties better because they are warm.
All right, very good. You learned something today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.